Hi everyone. This is Lou Martin. Awakened Spirits Network is my channel. I'm thrilled. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. One never knows. Brother Anthony Rodriguez, aka Walkingcrow. Bless you, my brother. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Lou. How are you?
I'm thrilled to have this opportunity. As you and I know, we chatted. We got on like a house on fire, as they say here in Ireland, a few
Yeah.
days ago, and we never pressed the record button. So we needed to schedule it again so we could share some of the joy with everyone about the the path that we're walking in this lifetime, and the honor to be on it with you. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. You and I have known each other for a few years, and it's probably been a couple since we've had a conversation.
That's right.
But conversations miss, but we're right in the same place where we kind of left off, only far more advanced,
Yeah. Well, yes. As I like to,
wiser,
it's almost like there's a higher power at work.
almost.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant. And Walking Crow said we could go live, so I'm going to just invite anyone if they come on here while we're chatting for the next 30 to 60 minutes as this unrolls here, which is just such a joy. Put some questions in the comments, and I will pass them along. So I leave it to you to start the circle for us today.
Well, I'd like to just sing a welcome song. Iowana Wiana is a song that I've been singing for the relatives and the ancestors and everybody on Mother Earth and the galactic arena, if you will, the
Please.
star people, the star seeds. And Iowana Wiana, it's a simple song that just asks you to place your left hand over your heart, your right hand over your left hand over heart, and we're simply going to sing I am with you in your heart. Yes, I am with you in your heart. All right, but I'm going to sing it in the spirit language, which I was told by Grandmother Chia, a Dene grandmother that who was wife of a medicine man. She said that those are the languages that I speak. So I sing in those songs. And when they speak through me, I say yes to those songs. So I'm going to use the small rattle. Ayo ana we ana hey ayo ana we ana hey 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 ayo ana we ana hey ayo ana we ana hey hey ayo we ana hey ayo ana we ayo ana we ana hey ayo ana we ana hey hey Aho Shinawana Hunata Aho Shinawana. Hey, thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Great Mother. Thank you, power and guidance of the medicine wheel and the four directions, Aho Mitakurasi, and all our relations, Aho Mitakurasi, all our relations, Aho Mitakurasi, all our relations. We are all related. The sky, the earth, the water, the fire, the air. You and I, we are the hollow bones that have come to this place on this day at this moment. And we are right here, right now. We are this clear right now. And we are clear to hear in our hearts. And we drift from our heads to allow ourselves to Ayowana Liana, to be with each other in our hearts. Aho.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Fantastic. Um, did you know the actor Graham Greene who just passed?
I love that, man.
Me too. Me too. And many people. Do you have anything to say about him or any of his energy?
You know, the first I ever saw of Graham Greene that I really paid attention to, because I was looking at his movie credits the other day, and I didn't realize that he did some movies that I had seen. I just never noticed. Right, I was probably before I came on my walk 15 years ago on my path, and he was a symbol for me of peace and knowledge and wisdom in that film, Dancer with Wolves.
Yeah.
But his curiosity, our curiosity of what is around us has been piqued and spiked, um, by the things around us. Where before we lived in the shadows, we lived in fear, and we lived in a way. I did, at least for me. Um, I didn't know anything, and I saw this film, and I saw this elegance of his hair, this elegance of his manner, you know,
Yeah.
mana,
Mm.
uh, and his voice and his wisdom, and even if, of his immaturity as man and husband.
Right.
When he comes out of the tent, and the young lady, the captured the
Right.
standing with fists,
Yes.
um,
There you go.
comes storming out of the teepee, and he comes out confused, and she's upset, um, and his wife walks up and says, "What's the matter?" He says, "She's being difficult." He said, and she looks at him and says, "Seems the difficulty is yours."
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
the difficulty has always been ours.
Yes.
I
Yes.
always say, if you have a problem with everybody else, you're the problem.
Sure. Sure. Very good. Very
So,
good.
and there's a teaching that I once heard about horse medicine. I create horse drums, and I always consider him in this as a symbolic being of this teaching.
Hmm.
And it's the medicine of horse, which is power, freedom, humility, and sovereignty.
Mm.
One of the things that was happening at that time in that movie, the time frame, was they were losing their sovereignty,
Right.
the Lakota.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I heard a story which stayed with me about horse medicine. And when two entities or nations or villages are at war, one of the medicine men will take a white horse and go to that village in a peaceful way
Yes.
and offer that horse. Why does he do that? Well, he wants freedom for his people.
Right.
He's taken his power, and he's gone there with this horse as a gift. He's stepping into his power for his people, but
Yes.
he's coming in a humble way with a gift,
Right. Right.
and only to ask for the sovereignty of his people, but for the sovereignty of those people as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as much as horse is a powerful medicine, it's a gesture, it's a symbol of that, gift, and he's in my mind and heart the symbol of that,
Yeah. That's good.
like, because he was the bridge between worlds.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That was where I first saw him, and as you say, his presence was unmistakable and so authentic and so genuine, and he just really carried that into most of the roles that he did, in a very very powerful and unique way. And he was really a voice, as you say, for the dignity of the indigenous, people, and what was being stolen and broken, and who was being destroyed at that time, nearly. Thank God not. And then,
Right.
coming all the way back now to today, and so that's a good segue for me with the Hopi prophecy, and which I see people talking about all the time, and we have this red moon solar eclipse on Sunday, sorry, lunar eclipse on Sunday, blood moon, and then the solar eclipse right on the autumn equinox, 2 weeks after that. And it's a very auspicious time. Do you want to say anything about the Hopi prophecy? Is that something you connect to?
Well, whenever I think of the hope, I don't like to use the word think
Yes.
because there's a lot of thinking takes place up here,
Yeah.
but what people don't remember, and I always remember, this is intake, 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 intake. And it's the distraction between here and here that keeps us here and doesn't allow us to really take that long journey of the 18-inch journey to
Yeah.
our heart.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I feel whenever I hear about the Hopi prophecy, I really feel into the condor, the coming together of the condor and the eagle.
Right.
And I've been in a lot of circles with regard to that.
Right.
And we're losing a lot. We're not really losing that. It seems like we're losing a lot. We're losing our freedom, but it feels like we're just shaking off the heavy coat and the burdens that we've been carrying, that we become enslaved with by the enslaver, and then we enslave ourselves to work and move in the world that way.
Yeah.
The other day was Labor Day here in the United States, and I
Yes.
wished everybody a happy beleaguered day.
Okay.
It's Labor Day. It's the only country that celebrates Labor Day but doesn't give you any time off from the slavery.
Yeah.
So we're losing that. The Hopi prophecy shares with a lot the Lakota prophecy, the prophecies of the southern tribes where my people are from, Mexico,
Right.
of the Guatemala of South America,
Right.
and and I don't want to say I just want to sit back and let it play out, but I know that I have a definite role because I don't have a native voice per se. Although look at me, right? I can't hide from what I am, but my perspective comes from the suburbs. My perspective comes from the city. My perspective comes from the downtrodden in the way that they broke me down in the Catholic schools
Right.
in
Right.
the inner city, and I would never had an opportunity to even know who my people were until I was 50 something.
Is that right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
How
don't
long?
know a lot about the Hopi prophecy other than it's here.
Yeah.
And people keep talking about the prophecy. It's happening.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
living in the prophecy.
Yeah.
And I use the word being clear in the prayer. We are becoming clear. And it's funny, I'm looking at the screen and behind you have your background blurred. And I
Right.
have mine clear.
Right.
And I was like, should I do that? Or did I draw too much attention to myself? But and I said the southern nations, but
Yeah.
there's the medicine of the southern nations on the wall behind me.
Okay.
A medicine man from the Sacred Valley brought that to me as a gift, and I use it in my medicine here.
Okay.
So we never know what's going to catch our attention
Sure.
of intention.
Sure.
So I can't speak a lot to the Hopi prophecy. I pay more attention to the coming together of the condor and the eagle.
Yes.
And the southern tribes are coming together. Grandma Susan just this morning sent out a message about coming together in Nauvoo, Illinois. I think in November.
Okay.
Which I think is kind of soon,
Yeah.
because that
Yes.
stuff takes time.
Yeah.
But it's about the coming together after the separation. It's we've been separated for far too. You people like you and I.
Sure.
You know that I have about 3% Irish in me.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that and not surprised.
There were San Patricios in our lineage.
Great. Great.
And that's nothing to be embarrassed about. That's something to be honored, I feel, because we've traveled a lot of the same road, the Irish and us.
Sure. Sure.
And
Yeah.
who knew?
Yeah. Well, this is, I was just mentioning before we got on here, this is Chief Phil Lane Jr., and this is his story as well, that it's not Choctaw, but it sounds like Choctaw, but he's indigenous, Native American, and then he's also Irish. And his Irish people, like Lane, his surname was originally Lahane, and it got reduced as names did with emigrating. But I actually have a little passage here from Chief Phil, which I'd love to share with you because I think
Please.
it'll help us with the walk. But the so we'll come back to the prophecies because he also said that he felt he was carrying the medicine of the condor and the eagle, and that was part of his life's journey, and that was why he had to come to Ireland and bring his medicine here. He says September 2nd this year. He says, "Wherefore, O beloved relatives of Wakantanka, the Great Spirit, the Creator of all good things, may we awaken our hearts and bestir our spirits, doing all in our power to be as one, to live in peace with each other. For we are all the drops from but one sacred ocean, the leaves of one great tree, the pearls held in a single shell, the flowers and sweet medicines growing together in the same sacred garden of Mother Earth. And in achieving this, let us strive to unite the hearts of all peoples across every path and tradition as one human family. Remember, our goal is unity, and each of us plays a crucial role in this journey. For one another, we must give up even life itself, as the warrior gives all for the people. To every human being, we must be infinitely kind. Call none a stranger. Think none to be our foe. Be as if all people were our close kin and honored friends. Remember, it is our collective responsibility to maintain this harmony, to mend the sacred hoop of the nations, to keep the rivers running pure, the winds singing peace. When we walk in such a way, this fleeting world of shadows will be changed into a place of radiant beauty, and this heap of dust will become a living lodge of joy. Then the sacred hoop of the nations will be mended, the rivers symbolizing the flow of life and harmony will run pure, the winds will sing peace." That's Chief Phil. You can feel that. Yeah, deep, deep place. So his story is. I have a short interview that I did with him, which I'll gladly send you. And the same, I have two with Standing Bear. The second one is the better. But he said that he was when he started walking the Red Road as a young man and get that calling. He was invited down to South America, and when he got there, he was feted and celebrated, and he was recognized as the eagle from the north coming to meet the condor from the south. And he was told that he's carrying this medicine. And here he is now, just a month ago in West Cork, Ireland, 40 minutes from my front door here, my friend, and with 40 different teachers and shaman from South, Central, and North America, and 200 of us who were invited, who heard the call and came, basically, and were able to be there. And it was extraordinary. And the ripples of that just keep on, sounding out into the world. So I'm thrilled to get to share it with you. The Hopi prophecy, as I understand it, talks about a blue kachina, a red kachina, and a white kachina. And then there's all this talk now that the three-eye atlas is probably the red kachina, and that it's going to be in our part of the solar system on the 29th of October, and even closer again on the winter solstice. So it's pretty cosmic that this is happening in this way right now. And so anyway, the prophecy says when everything is coming undone, basically, and the old world is ending, the rainbow warriors, those, will come together and, will be taught by the people of the Red Road, how to walk again in harmony with Mother Earth and how to heal our wounds with each other and be one family again.
Right. You know, you mentioned the Kachinas. When, as I was making my way to Sedona to eventually live, I was back and forth from Los Angeles to Sedona. I had a car accident on Valentine's Day on the way to Sedona. I was in a desperation mode to get here because I didn't want to be in LA. I was staying in my mother's house. And I said to my mother the night before I left, I won't be coming into your room to wake you up, and which was not smart because whenever I would leave, I'd go in her room, wake her up, and she would give me her Catholic blessing. I'm not a practicing Catholic. I believe I live in Catholicism, but I don't leave that city without that. And that morning, and she said, I don't want you to leave. And she just held on to me. Well, 4 o'clock in the morning came. I packed up my car. There was a torrential rainstorm. And I got 60 miles away in San Bernardino, and there was a bad spin out in torrential rains and a 15-car pileup, which I was a part of. And I could feel myself as the car was spinning, splintering off into different directions.
Wow.
Well, and then about an hour later, I was hit by a car in a fast food parking lot because I had stepped in to use the restroom.
Wow.
So severely splintered. As the man, I'm already on my path.
Yeah.
And a young lady stepped out of, I'll say, the darkness. And she met me. She became my healer. And she's, I believe, Scottish. Dana McGinnis. Donna McGinnis. Dana McGinnis.
Okay.
And as she was, I would go work on her. And it's funny that you said that you talked about the hoop. When I think of the hoop, I think of the frame drum, the frame of the drum. I call it the grandmother. And she had a dream about a drum she was going to receive. And I had already made that drum.
Wow.
I didn't have money for payment. So I offered her the drum for 3 sessions.
Right.
And she was just I know that dreams come true and magic happens, and we are magic.
Yeah.
Well, as I'm on the table, I'm watching this spinning wheel of stained glass, purples and blues and all these beautiful colors descend on me, over me. I'm on the table.
Wow.
And I understood that to be Saint Germain.
Okay.
And then the strangest thing happened.
Right.
This thing stuck its head like from sideways, like, you see somebody's looking at you from the side. Where did they come from?
Right.
And it was blue Starknowledge.
Wow.
And then 2 feathers was sitting off to the side like this. In fact, I understand that I am 2 feathers, but he's sitting off to the side. He's got 2 feathers and he's got hair like mine.
Right.
And he's sitting in buckskin just like this, looking off.
Right.
That never says a word.
Right.
So, and from that point forward, Blue Star Kachina is always in my healings and when I'm working as in the work of healing others. Always present. If you come into my house, you see Blue Star Kachina everywhere.
Interesting.
And I'd like to say I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And my life, I was pulled back together by the star seeds, by the star beads, by the Kachinas, and by Dana McGinnis, who saw me at a powwow at the Shumash powwow in the Malibu Bluffs, and I was watching the water dance, and I didn't know who she was, and apparently she was standing behind me. She says, "I saw you." And I was looking at the stitchings of your shirt and your medicine bag, and you stood there, and I wanted to walk up and say something to you, but you don't know who I am, so I just didn't. And she says, and you went away. So the next day, I walk into a place called the Crystal Shrine in Atwater Village, area of Los Angeles, which is along the Highway 5 and the river. And she says, "You're here." She's in there. She says, "You're here." I said, "Excuse me." I'm looking around. Who are you talking to? She says, "I saw you yesterday at the powwow." And she went into the detailed story about the stitchings on my shirt and how she was transfixed on that, and the buffalo horn button on my medicine bag.
Right.
And I was just like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she became my healer.
Right. Right, man.
When I thought,
Yeah.
right? When
Yeah.
I thought or I felt I was the healer. Well, I am, and I evolved from that moment. But who we from the fringes, let's say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you were talking about the Hopi prophecy, I thought about you and I and how we live, and I thought the fringes. I live in the fringes. You live
Sure.
in the fringes, but
Yeah.
the from the outer spoke of the wheel,
Mm.
from the wheel,
Mm.
looking into the hub of the wheel,
Mm-hmm.
we are looking from the outside in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then once we have the understanding of the inside out, we have a view of both worlds.
Sure. Sure.
And I don't know why I just felt like, and I heard that's the Hopi prophecy for me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, brother. I mean, I love what you just said about the blue kachina. And as I said, I definitely wanted to connect you with Chief Phil and have you feel his medicine. And there it is. You know, I read that this morning on morning prayers. And yeah, I mean, that was my journey 2 years ago when we lost kind of, the momentum of keeping in touch with each other. And here we are, thank goodness, come together again and picking it up where we left off, as you said. Yeah, I was in bed on my back for 5 weeks with a big hole in my chest. And then, really
Right?
not knowing if I was going to continue to survive in this lifetime. And I had a great surgeon and great people looked after me. But it was as you said, your experience with the car accident and then being hit. It's just utter, total, complete surrender. You are not in charge. Give up the illusion. Die to the past. Die to who you think you are, and let me teach you who you really are or who you can become again. Do you know Chief Phil? The night before it was three. On the 10th of July, they lit the eighth fire, which is part of the prophecy of all of this, the indigenous and the Irish, and that was where I met Standing Bear as well as Chief Phil and a few other folks. But they did 3 hours of ceremony, and we were just filled with light the whole time. And Declan, my buddy, and I, who went with me, we left there changed. It lit us up. And then I went to the ceremony, World Peace Gathering on the Friday, and then skipped the Saturday and went on the Sunday. So on Sunday, Chief Phil was meant to sign the World Peace Treaty that he's created, which I will also send to you. It's really, really, really beautiful, and you can hear, his spirit and his eloquence and his wisdom is in every word he expresses. It's very, very powerful. And but he the night before he had a detached retina in one of his eyes, and he had to go in for 3 hours of surgery to the same hospital that I was at a few years ago. And so he didn't come in to sign the peace treaty on the last day. So that is sort of kind of floating out there in the ethers and online and things like this. And he's come back to himself and he's okay. But and another organizer of the event, an Irish organizer, also passed away during the 3 days of the event, and that was a big deal. He passed on the Friday, so he was celebrated on the Saturday, I think, or Saturday and Sunday. Anyway, and then we did the ceremony, and my friend Charlotte works with the water here, and she's a real goddess, and she is clearing all these wells. She's finding the wells that are blocked and covered over, and she's cleared I think about 100 of them so far. And she's one of the brightest lights here. So she did the ceremony where the other people in the circle brought up their waters from all over the world. I may have told you this when we chatted a couple days ago, and it was so powerful. And then the rains came, and oh my God, it was a torrential downpour, and then the lightning and thunder came, and every one of us was like, you know, undone is my favorite phrase. We were like, we got a dose of medicine from Grandmother Earth, big time. And then, as I was saying to you, I happened to be chatting in another interview with another teacher about this, and I was mentioning the same story. And literally, while I was talking about it, the rains and the thunder came again while we were talking a few weeks ago. So, you know, I this has my full attention. You know, it's like, oh my God, things are really accelerating. So it's a
One
pleasure
of the
sharing.
things, when you said attention, that's a real important word to me. I always say, pay attention.
Yeah.
What is your intention? What is your intention for you? What is your intention for healing, release, change? What is your intention for? Well, I celebrate Tuesday, not Tuesday,
Right.
Tuesday.
Right.
What will I choose today
Yeah.
that's better or different than I chose yesterday for myself and others that I chose for yesterday, last week, last month, last year, last decade, last century, last lifetime?
Yeah,
What
man.
will I choose? What is my intention?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just to set an intention blindly and pay lip service and double talk, but to create and offer the intention for your from your heart space to walk in the way of beauty and walk in the way of balance,
Yeah.
and then offer attention to the intention and to not lose sight of it. Sight of it.
Yeah.
Sight. Sight.
Yeah.
The sight is not here.
Right.
The sight is here.
Right.
When I was talking to a shaman who came to make a drum yesterday,
Right.
and she was talking about, seeing. I said, we hearing. I said, we don't hear from here, HERE. We hear from HEAR
Right.
here.
Right.
But you have to learn from setting the intention, right? You just talked about having a big hole in you, laying there with.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, how ironic that the heart heals itself, because within the heart are 4 chambers.
Right. Right.
And many shamans, to become shamans, have to die many deaths to become
Sure.
what they are.
Sure. Sure.
So you have to have the understanding
Right.
of that.
Right. Right.
And I don't know why I understood so clearly so long ago. I mean, I'm not that bright. I say that jokingly, but that's how I was indoctrinated.
Yeah. Yeah, brother.
By our society. You're dumb. You're a troublemaker. They just dumbed me down, and I was like, and I believed it. I enslaved myself behind my own shame,
Sure.
and wound and hurt and unwillingness. But the prophecies, all of them, Hopi, Lakota,
Yeah.
the Condor, they allow me to free myself. They allowance.
Right.
Do you know what allowance is?
Tell me what you believe.
Allowance is simply to receive.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
Good.
lot of people call it something else because that's how we've been conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
But when I heard it for the first time, just be an allowance, receive. There were 2 women in my life at one time, friends of mine, like sisters. And one said to me one day, you never say thank you.
Oh.
I said, I say thank you all the time. And they both said, no, you don't.
Mm.
And this was 30 plus years ago.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, why don't you say thank you? I said, to be honest, I said, no one's ever given me anything.
Wow.
So where would I ever learn
Wow.
to receive and say thank you?
Ouch.
And I carry that lesson 35 years later, 6 years, 36 years, and it's still here. I've been able to transform, transmute, transcend what they did to me,
Mm-hmm.
us, all
Mm-hmm.
of us, the
Yes.
Irish, the
Yeah.
Africans,
Yeah.
the Chinese, the native peoples of North and South America,
Yeah. Yeah.
all of us,
Yeah.
all of us. And I said to somebody last night, just don't try to teach people anything. Just be the shining light example of who and what you are, who and what you were, and who and what you are becoming full circle to.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
soul will return.
Yeah. 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 Oh, beautiful. Well, yeah. There's so much there, man. I see you got the Star Knowledge Conference shirt on there, and that's another hello for me because that's I was a girlfriend gave me the book Lame Deer Seeker of Visions by John Fire Lame Deer in high school, and I was also remembering this morning I watched Dustin Hoffman did a film called Little Big Man. Did you ever see that one?
I remember it vaguely.
Yeah, it's also very good for the indigenous culture and his change, just like Dances with Wolves was so helpful and so powerful. But yeah, Star Knowledge Conference. I was uh, uh, living with a girlfriend in Kansas City in 1996, and she said we have to go to this thing, and we drove 14 hours to Marty, South Dakota, and met the chief standing elk, Lauren Zephyr, and it definitely changed my life, and it changed her life big time because when she and I parted company, she married one of Lauren's sons, I believe, and they had 5 kids together. So that was a big deal for her, but it was a beautiful, powerful thing for me. And we also that same trip went to Greyhorn Butte for the solstice, and we very magically were allowed onto the property during ceremony, and we're standing there with Chief Arvel Looking Horse, and he invited us to stay. We were the only non-Indian there, at the time, and it was um, lights coming over, the Greyhorn Butte there that was just magical. So again, it's all this energy has come back into my life in the last couple months because of Chief Phil, and here you and I are connecting again. It's wonderful.
On the 15th, I'm supposed to leave for Ohio for Serpent Mound for the Star Knowledge Peace Conference for the equinox.
Great.
And I have to call Terry next week to tell her that I may not be able to come because July and August here in Sedona were just horrendous.
Well,
And I had
let us help you with that. Let's put a link for to support you in your work here.
okay, I lost my vision in Kansas City last November.
Okay.
After I had been to the 11/11 conference in Pickstown, South Dakota on the Yangston Reservation, I made my way across into Kansas. I have a big community in Kansas City. So when you said Kansas City, it just made me smile.
Right. Right.
Um, and we birthed drums, and the second day I lost the vision in my left eye. And I didn't tell anybody. And I had to drive across the country that way. And I had to hold it together to not become unnerved by my experience. And I got here and I did everything possible. So I have this bill from surgery that I'm paying slowly because I don't have health insurance, because who can afford that? Even the free health insurance isn't free.
Yeah. No, I know.
There's nothing free.
Yeah. It's a
So
whole
I would
scam.
rather have a bill and pay it slowly and painfully than and I did that, and I actually have an appointment tomorrow that I'm going to cancel today because I don't have the money for it. I'd rather pay the bill down than pay for an appointment, a new appointment,
Well, take care
which
of
is
yourself,
fine.
please.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have full vision. I have 2025 vision, right? Um, where I didn't ever have 2025 vision in
Oh.
either of them.
Oh. Well, that's something.
And
Yeah.
what just came to me as I said that years ago when before I was 30, I wrote a poem called Hit Vision. My alcoholic life was ending at the age of 28, 29,
Yeah.
right?
Same.
And
Yeah.
they were already speaking to me. They were already talking. I didn't know it. I didn't have any clue till 35 years later.
Right. Right.
But here I am, and I have my full vision. And I had been here, and the blue star Kachina, and all the I, and the we, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I think about my eye, and it was my left eye of receiving. What wasn't I receiving? What wasn't I willing to give myself?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I still was I taking care of me, or was I not taking care of
well, a little of both, in all honesty, from what you've just described, you know.
me? Yeah.
But yeah, man, we do. I mean, you know, I have another dear friend and teacher, and he just had a stroke a few months ago, and now he's dealing with stuff with his prostate, and he's on a catheter and things like this for months. And he's also on a certain product that you and I are working with. And but he's a beautiful, beautiful soul. But yeah, you feel the energy there. It's for me what I see, brother, is this is inner child stuff for all of us, you know. And like I work with the channeled guided meditations of my teachers, Lazarus and Oren and Patricia Coda Robles, who I think I may have sent you a video. Yeah, good. And so this is all I'm learning is that, you know, if we're in service, which you and I know we are, you know, we want to be able to ask for help because it isn't just about us. You know, it is about us, but it's not just about us. It's the medicine that we're being asked to carry into the world. And Reverend Michael Beckwith, who's one of my teachers from LA, yeah, he said, here's one that comes to mind as we sit around the fire this morning. He says, God not only calls the qualified, God qualifies the called. And you know, this is again Chief Phil and Standing Bear and your good self, my brother, Lauren Zephyr, you know, Lame Deer, Two Feathers, Chief Joseph of the Nez Perce, you know, Crazy Horse. There are many, many powerful, you know, spirit beings looking after us at this time in the journey here, as we know, because we're at the moment of choosing, you know, on this planet, and many souls have the potential to fall, and many souls have the potential to rise up as we've never believed possible. So, you know, every effort is being made, you know, to help us understand what's possible and be the light that the world is looking for in the darkness. And you know, it's very humbling, my friend.
So I'm starting to burp because I'm feeling you.
Yeah, man.
Now,
Yeah.
one of the things about the Hopi prophecy and your example of hole in my heart,
Mm,
of dying many deaths to become
thank you.
the shaman. Do you know what this is?
It's a lingam, is it? No.
It's an acorn.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a few years old.
Oh,
It's
beautiful.
dried up inside.
Yeah.
But I was taught many years ago in a place called Descanso Gardens about the acorn.
Okay.
And whenever I'd go anywhere in California in the fall, I would wear these cargo shorts and my pockets were
Acorns.
full of acorns.
Great.
And I would see people, I would meet people, they would tell me their story and I would ask them to extend their left hand.
Right.
And they extend it and I put an acorn in. What's this for? I said, this is an acorn. They go, yeah. So I said, do you know that when an acorn falls off a tree, it doesn't grow into a tree? It becomes food for squirrels. It deteriorates. It gets pushed down into the ground. I said, an acorn to become the mighty oak. And who was referred to as the mighty oak? The Christ consciousness.
Okay. Okay.
So it's funny how much I was paying attention through my life when I didn't think I cared about
Well, you the important
right?
stuff, you know,
Right.
the important
So
stuff. Yeah.
I said the mighty oak. When you have the acorn, The acorn has to die, die before it becomes the mighty oak, like the Christ consciousness had to die to become the ascended master.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Everything inside of me had to die. I was taken to the edge
Right.
over and over again.
Right.
My brother Lou was taken to the edge with a hole in his chest. But I say, heart, lungs, air, I love, I'm loved. Or heart, lungs, air, I don't have the capacity to love. I don't have the capacity to be loved. Which did I choose all those eons ago?
Right.
I know which one I choose.
Right.
Which one did you choose? And we came to this place, and what happened was the rebirthing.
Yeah.
The dying and the rebirthing.
Yeah.
And we chose, I have the capacity to love, heart, lungs, air, and be loved.
Amen.
The capacity. Where does capacity come from? It comes from the breath.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the darkness of your darkness, and I'm sure you've written it down, and my darkness, which is in this transformation of a walking crow.
Beautiful.
A friend of mine, Glenn Perry Aprecio, called me one day. He has my book. I met him through Grandma Susan. And he said, Walking Crow, I read your book. I said, oh, thank you. He says, oh my God. He says, that's a hard book to read. He said, it's so dark for you. It was so painful to sit with through that. And he's not the first person to say that to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, but on page 65, you woke up. I said, I didn't wake up. I don't like that terminology. I came to.
Oh.
I said, Glenn, I'm going to stop you for a second. I said, page 65. Everything with me is about numbers.
Okay. 11. Right.
I said, 6 and 5 is 11. And 11 is 2.
Right.
And 11 and 2 are the pillars. They are duality. They're the structure. If you have one pillar and you put a roof on a pillar, it falls off. But if you bring another pillar to mirror it and put a roof on it, it creates structure. Little girls at 11 years old or roundabout step into their moon cycle. Little boys start to get deeper voices and hairy palms and stinky bodies, and they start to transform at that age.
Right.
And our brother from the doors of rightly titled The Doors.
Right.
Step on through to the other side. Step on through. We stepped on through to the other side on page 65. And I said yes to the awakening and the rerouting and refruiting of my life. That's where the magic is. And I had an artist here who has heart issues say to me, I read your book. I said, yeah. He goes, man, I just want to hug you because it was so sad for you. I said, you didn't finish reading the book. Right?
Happy ending.
So the prophecy is inside of, there's the hoop. The prophecy is inside of us. Even if we don't know it, even if it hasn't been spoken to us yet, we are the symbolic gesture, the intuitive body of that. You have been stripped down bare to become full and mighty, and there you are across the ocean on the other side, 2 continents away. And I'm just like, man, we're talking about the Hopi prophecy and where we live it within. Well, there's a circle within the word Hopi.
Yeah. Beautiful. I hear you.
In Alcoholics Anonymous, there is they say something which I don't believe them to believe.
Right.
I think it's a false teaching, whether you believe it or not. I'm not going to argue with you because I am who I am because of them. They brought me here. Alcoholics Anonymous
Yeah.
brought me to this place of understanding.
Yeah, beautiful.
And they say this in their preamble: we 100 people have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, period. And one day I was in a meeting again, and I'm in the back row, and I'm listening to some guy dribble on and on and on again, right? How painful. And I heard this, listen to the still small voice. And I looked around, there was no one in my aisle where I was sitting. I was sitting in the back aisle, which I never sit. I said, okay. And then they said, listen to the still small voice, not the voices.
Mm.
I got up and I left and never went back.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So that little one sentence of we 100 people, I believe is a false teaching, because they're still sitting there all these years later waiting for something to happen that happened a long time ago. So yeah. I say, I am Walkingcrow. I am the tree that didn't get knocked down by the four winds. What are your four winds? There are thousands of them. I am rooted and I am fruited. And I extend my branches into the heavens, and the birds of the air nested my branches and eat of my fruit. And what is my fruit? My fruit is the experience that I share of how I got from point A to point B. That's it, and that's all.
Yeah, man.
And then I say, I have transformed from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. I was never hopeless. I hopeless. I was only helpless. I asked for help, and I remain hopey filled.
Sure. Well, that's everything. Asking for help is everything.
Hopeful.
Yeah.
So yeah. I have no reason to sit in those rooms, because I have transformed from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. If I recovered, why am I still sitting there? So I believe that the day I raised my hand, I was done. There was no obsession of the mind and spiritual malady anymore.
Right.
So I live in the wasm, not the ism.
Very good. Very good.
For me, that's the Hopi prophecy. How did I get here? I have transformed from a seeming, and we had to shed the skin. Sure. You have to burn the forest to drop the seeds.
Yes. Yes. There you go. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Everyone wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. You know, that's,
to the colonizer, it's a wildfire. To us, it's just recycling.
Sure, man.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Well, brother, I love you madly. You know that, and let's send some green energy your way for your trip in November. You know, you're reminding me. So we'll put that out there, and we'll get people to take a look at your book and support you. Just finishing up here for our time today, a couple things. So Patricia Cota Robles talked about. She's talked about how we've been clearing the darkness between humanity and spirit, and it was pretty dark for a long time, and it's pretty clear right now. And her promise to us is that this year we're clearing the last of a lot of the darkness in the world. You know, and that's why it's coming up for everyone. And, you know, so the dates they gave us, this comes to 11/11. The dates she gave us was the spring equinox of March, the 8/8 of the Lion's Gate, August 8th, the 11/11, and the winter solstice. And she said those dates and these gateways, are powerful.
So I want to remind everybody of something. If you haven't seen the movie It's a Wonderful Life, it speaks to this.
Yeah.
When George is in Potter's office,
Yes.
And he realizes as he's holding the cigar, the fire,
Right.
and
Sitting in the big chair below
yeah,
Mr. Potter.
and Potter's talks about what does that get us? Just a rabble, disgruntled rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And George Bailey says, wait, wait for what? That that right there.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you waiting for? You're waiting for a prophecy. Be what it is you are waiting for.
Absolutely.
Understand
Right.
that the cyclical nature of receiving and giving, of the heart being pumped in, the blood being pumped into the four directions of the four chambers of the heart, and
Yeah.
it being pumped out throughout your universal body.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are that within. And
Yeah.
we're always looking towards the TV, the book, the guru. You're be your
Sure.
guru.
Sure. Sure, man. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Phil Lane. Thank you, Standing Bear. Thank you, Crazy Horse. Thank you, Chief Seattle. Thank you all. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Pontius Pilate.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. Yeah. They're all in us. It's just what do we choose to listen to, as you're saying?
Yeah.
How do we let our acorn have a fighting chance to become the mighty oak?
Oh.
Aho, my friend. Yeah. Well, you mentioned Crazy Horse. This is what I have here to finish up on from my side of it. He says, from his prophecy, the last prophecy. Have you been to the monument? Have you ever seen that yet? No, me either.
No.
In South Dakota, he says, upon suffering, beyond suffering, the red nation shall rise again, and it shall be a blessing for a sick world, a world filled with broken promises, selfishness, and separations, a world longing for light again. I see a time of 7 generations, when all the colors of mankind will gather under the sacred tree of life, and the whole earth will become one circle again. In that day, there will be those among the Lakota who will carry knowledge and understanding of unity among all living things. And the young white ones will come to those of my people and ask for this wisdom. I salute the light within your eyes, where the whole universe dwells. For when you are at that center within you, and I am that place within me, we shall be as one.
And because I'm Mexican, I'm going to say Juan.
Make me one with everything.
It's always about tacos.
That's good. That's fine. Yeah, we won't let it be too serious for too long. Bless you, my friend. Bless you.
Yeah. Lighten up, not whiten up.
That's good too. That's good too.
I hope.
Without a sense of humor, it's just not funny.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank you, my brother, for the love that you share with the world and that you offered me all those years ago, which you still offer me from this point forward.
It's my pleasure.
I'm surrounded by you.
It's my pleasure. God bless you. Walkingcrow. And we're going to see you on that trip at 11:11 and be there for that ceremony. We'll help it to happen. Okay? And be well with your eye and your eye. Okay, brother?
The eyes have it.
There you go. All right. Love you. I will talk to you soon. Peace and blessings. Namaste. Thank you. Okay.